We all have a role to play, so I'm going to reiterate it once more. Today is World Water Day, part of our National Water Week, and we are diving straight into the key issues surrounding our precious, one of our most precious resources. So it gives me a great pleasure to welcome Kirsten Sims, sustainability analyst from Woolworths, and Christine Colvin, Senior Manager of Freshwater Programs from WWF-SA. Both ladies with hugely important jobs at the moment. So, Christine, I'm going to start with you so we can set the scene here. What are the current impacts, the pressures on our water in South Africa? And I'm going to say the D word, the drought. What is our current status?
Our current status is better at the moment than it was this time last year. So right now our dams are about 75% full. Last year they were only half full. But in the Western Cape the situation is really severe. You know, most of us know we've only got about 100 days worth of drinking water left. And looking at these big impacts around the country, they vary a lot around the country. We've seen some of our drinking water plants, but wastewater treatment plants is another part of our critical water infrastructure, which we have to invest a lot more in to make sure we're cleaning up the water that's going back into our river systems.
How does this affect the end user? We speak so much about people needing to change their habits, almost needing to change the culture around water, but it's starting to become almost a given. We're starting to see the effect, the knock-on effect, and feel it ourselves. What is that knock-on effect? What, in your measurement of the scenario, how are you seeing it impact the end user?
Well, we're seeing, in Cape Town, for instance, people have cut down their water use in the peak summer by 25%. So that's a reasonable saving. But actually what we've got to be careful of is not to go back to business as usual during winter and once the drought breaks. At WWF, we think that what we're experiencing in this last year is probably a foretaste of things to come with climate change. Our scientists tell us that droughts in the Western Cape and the Northern Cape will get more severe with climate change, and floods in the interior will also get worse. So the kind of changes we've made now, the new strategies that businesses have in place, need to carry on actually for the foreseeable future. And a critical part of that is also working in partnerships, as we do with Woolworths and with the farmers in their supply chains, in the catchment areas, the areas that feed our dams. Because if those areas are healthy and living, delivering good quality water into our dams can deliver better quality water to us.
And I've had a window opened into that world, into that supply chain, how water is brought to us. We saw exactly what happens with Rand Water there, but knowing how important it is to protect the environment, to protect those source areas, but it relies on big business on the highest level getting involved, and Willie's water stewardship program is doing just that. My mind has been blown to see how much water you guys are saving on a daily basis. So fill us in there. How is the water stewardship program playing out, Kirsten?
Graham, I think what Christine said around these big water challenges and needing the partnership and collaboration is absolutely fundamental. And Willie's is viewing water stewardship as a way to be able to partner with NGOs like WWF, with government, with our suppliers. And we've been working for a number of years with a small group of our suppliers in the Ceres area to implement a water stewardship project there using the Alliance for Water Stewardship Standard. And some of the sort of risks that they were coming across were exactly what Christine mentioned: alien vegetation in catchments, and also infrastructure. So a key offshoot of that project has been the development of a community group called the Witzenberg Water Savers, which has been really amazing. They're a volunteer-based group, and they've been educating the local community on the importance of clean rivers and also sanitation and litter management within the local river areas.
And it's a massive project to cover, and you really have spread a huge net. But I think what's most important, that you've been at this for a while now, and hopefully this is starting to bring about a shift in that culture. But we look forward to continuing this work that we do with you on both sides, on WWF and with Woolies. But I'm going to ask the studio to give a round of applause, because what I've seen, the millions of litres of water that I've seen being saved just in the few days that we've shot with you, is mind-blowing. So please note that you guys at home have a way of helping out as well. Make sure that you swipe for a better future. Make sure that you take it on board at home as well. We all have a role to play.